Zane, Josh, hey, congratulations on your new film, Love Bomb.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You know what? These films, I don't know about you guys, but you guys done very well in this film because I was laughing
Oh,
pretty much
good.
the entire film. But let's ask that obligatory question. What initially drew you that you wanted to be a part of a Love Bomb?
For me, it's a script, 100%. The second I read it, I was in. I just uh, really fun, like twisty, turny plot did it for me. I thought it was really funny too.
Well said. How about you for you, Zane?
So, um, I feel like a year before this movie came around, I was about to do, or was kind of like loosely attached to do this other movie called Becca is Back that David was casting as well. And it was the same writer, Kathy Charles. So I was familiar with her writing and I really liked that script. And then this one came up, and I honestly was like a late replacement for another actor. Um, David called me like a couple days before they were getting ready to go, and he was like, "Hey man, I got this other script that Kathy wrote that I think is really great, and if you want to come and do it, read it, blah blah blah." So I read it, and I thought that again I could see like her voice um, that I was familiar with from the previous script, and I thought that this was a cool idea for a movie, and I wanted to jump at the chance to work with David as a director. So I showed up and we made it happen.
Well, then there you go. Josh, tell us about getting into the character of Josh in this film. The comedic timing and the character itself is it's so goofy in so many different ways.
I think that's just me. I just bring the goofiness. No, it was fun because it's a little tricky to talk about. We are just talking without ruining anything. But it starts off. He starts off as like kind of presenting as a different guy than he actually is. So that was super fun to play with, finding ways that you know you can play with his presentation, right? That he may seem a certain way, but you realize like on a rewatch, he's really a different way. Does that make sense? So yeah, that was a super fun thing to play with, to find like parallel emotions where like he's presenting as like, he's nervous about one thing, but in reality, it's like he's role playing and he's nervous because it's like he's, about to sleep with this girl. You know what I mean?
Okay. And Zane, tell tell us about getting into your character because he kind of gives off this this American Psycho type of vibes. But you know what? I've seen you in other things with your suits. I want to say you in a suit is always intimidating for some unknown reason. It's maybe it's just you. Maybe it's just you.
Could just be me. I don't know. Like you said, I've played like dark roles before. Um, but really I tried to like connect with who the character ends up being revealed to actually be first, and then throw that dark layer on top as this kind of like persona on who the character really is trying to give off in the role playing, right? So I had some like I guess I'd had a couple at bats before of playing a bad guy, right? So that it does kind of I can slip into that, but I really wanted to connect with who he really is and then throw that on top after.
Now for the both of you, the concept of, role playing is initially acting itself. How meta is all of this, in, being a part of this film where you're acting as if you're role playing, but yet you're role playing as if you're acting in a film like this.
I mean, it's crazy. You're a actor doing a performance of somebody who's giving a performance, but then also being real at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like it's that
Yeah,
fine.
it was like a tricky thing to figure out
Yeah.
with like how like an actual scene would play, where it's like how much I don't want to give away right? Like I don't want to reveal that it's not everything is as it's seen. So like I said, it's like the easiest way I found to do it was to just play the scene straight, right? And just find like a parallel emotion, right? That could like present as to the audience like uh what you wanted them to see, but like babbling here. But like it functioned on like a rewatch that something else was going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was just trying to make the acting real on the day and that trust that the script that we had and in the edit it would be revealed in a way that makes sense to the audience. But always making the acting, always, always playing the scene straight and making it real.
Well, that's why you guys are the professionals. Since Josh doesn't want to reveal certain things, I want to talk about a specific scene, but we don't have to reveal it. I'll just call it the basement scene. Josh, how did you pull it off that emotionally without laughing?
Um, I mean, you just play it like it's scary as hell. I mean, you just like, for me, it's like comedy. Like you don't play the joke. You play it straight ahead. So it was uncomfortable and awkward, and poor Jesse had to look at my tuchus, but you just play it like you're about to get an electrical cord straddled to your nether region, which is a pretty scary concept, I think.
Zane?
Am I crazier? When we were filming this, was it the very tail end of like COVID protocol too? It was, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, that basement scene is probably was probably the most challenging to shoot. I would say technically, also like performance wise, it was kind of odd because just the way that the scene is structured, Josh is facing away from us, but we're also kind of having this kind of like intimate, sort of really like nasty, mean scene, but we're playing it. We're almost like playing it to the back of your head because of the way that the camera was set up. I recall it being very odd the way that it was staged, but I
I
think
and I like honestly was like so pleasantly surprised because it's like it happens sometimes when you really want to like feel like you're in the scene and I felt like I was like full of shit in that scene, and then David's like, "No, just like trust me, it's really good," and I was just
yeah,
like, "I feel like I'm faking this," and then when you see the cut, it really does work, which was a really pleasant surprise because it's yeah, like Zane said, it's like really like just blocking wise, just so strange to be feigning like these insane things happening to your body, but also you have nobody to play off of, so it was tricky.
yeah. Now that we're bringing it up, I 100%. It's probably one of the most intense scenes, and it also on the day, blocking wise, really felt just off. But I guess it delivered and it turned out good. So fuck, who cares?
Was it weird for you, Zane, to to watch Josh to go through that scene?
Yeah, yeah. Watch and also be the one doing it. But and again, like we talked before, without giving away too much of the film, that's kind of like where one of the first reveals happens, and you see the character go from this like really dark person to kind of turning on a dime halfway through that scene. So it is, without spoiling the movie, it's probably one of the most important scenes in the film.
It's definitely like a pivotal
Yeah.
scene.
Well, it certainly was a memorable one. That's for sure. Tell us about working with Jesse Andrews in this film. I know you guys come from a professional acting background. She comes from a different type of industry, but in this case, she has to play that mysterious role between you two.
I think she did a great job.
She
She
did a great
showed up.
job.
Yeah, she knew her stuff every day. Um, she's acted in some other great stuff before we worked together. I thought she was great. She was there to again, on these little indie movies, you don't show up and spend your time making them unless you believe in the script and you believe in the role. And I think she felt the same way, and we all showed up and just tried to give the best performances we could.
She's super professional and did a great job. I know she worked on the role for a while beforehand. I don't know if it was with a coach or with somebody else, but she took it really seriously and I think she did a great job.
Well said. Well said. Well, let me wrap it up with the both of you. What's next for both of you after this?
Um, I have my movie I directed with a friend, co-directed, just came out on VOD. Uh, so trying to get that out in the world. And I'm gonna be I have a little part in Julia Stiles directed her first movie earlier this year. It's called Wish You Were Here. I think that might get a theatrical release. Um, and I'm working on a script and just we're looking for the next thing.
Well said.
Yeah, we had last year off.
Yeah,
It was a big strike, you know.
yeah.
I was doing ADR this morning. I'm gonna be in one of the episodes this season of a show called Accused on Fox. My episodes with Ken Jeong and Jamie Chung and Michael Chiklis actually directed it, and I got to see some of it for the first time today, and it looks awesome. And then I'm gonna leave to go to Arizona next week to do work on another movie that David's actually producing called Frontier Crucible. So a Western.
Well said. Well said. And let me leave with one last thought. Love Bomb in this case, the film is all about role playing apps. Have what do you guys have experience with dating apps, or you just try to avoid that
Well,
all? Yeah.
it's funny that you ask because both of us are like probably the only people our age who have been in relationships so long that I personally never had any experience with dating apps. So I've been with my wife forever. So
Yeah, I
sorry to
got
bore you.
married. I got married before Instagram even existed. I've never
We're,
seen an app. Yeah.
we're two boring old men with kids. So sorry.
Well, good thing. Hope to say that Love Bomb doesn't really exist. Otherwise, who knows? But
Yeah,
gentlemen, Zane, Josh, thank you very much for speaking to us about Love Bomb.
yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks, gigs. Yeah.